I'm going to tell you the story of how I turned down over $1 million. But first, you know the drill. It's YouTube. Like, subscribe. If you're so inclined, comment in the comments section. Here's what I want you to comment specifically, okay? Comment if at the end of this, if you think I made a mistake or if you think I did the right thing, okay? Stick to your guns, great idea, or rewind time, go back, take the money. It was 2016 and I was completely broke. I had thought I was gonna be this creative producer of a project. We'll get into that in another story. Let me know if you want to hear about it. But anyways, I was coming back from Santiago, Chile, to the Bay Area. I barely had any money in my bank account, and I was working, basically selling my time as a programmer for money, contractor. So, needless to say, I was hard up for cash, and I started going to these meetup groups for a technology called Ethereum, which is a blockchain. I'm not going to get into blockchain right now. I can maybe later make an explainer video. And if you know me from my other life, I actually work on a new blockchain, but I'm not, like I said, getting into that here. I just want to focus on the fact that I had gotten into this new technology. People were willing to hire me to write code for this new technology, and it was not that popular when I found out about it. So something changed at the end of 2016. The people who started showing up to these meetups were showing up in sweater vests, people I hadn't seen before, people who were talking about this thing called an ICO, an initial coin offering. Long story short, what it meant is you could sell a new cryptocurrency to people for the first time ever. Anyone could do this. And a lot of people wanted to do it. So a lot of people were asking me if I could write the code for their ICOs, and mostly I said no, because a lot of folks were scamming people, if I'm being honest. They were selling tokens, aka cryptocurrency, to folks who didn't understand it so they could take advantage of them. And I was morally against this, I still am, taking advantage of people, not in my MO. But then, I'll never forget this. This very tall man, never met in my life, with a sweater vest and a blazer on top of it, so you know he was in the business, showed up, and he said he was looking for somebody to go to China for a little bit, just a few weeks, train a team, and write the basic code for one of these ICOs, these initial coin offerings. The way that he pitched it to me was he was going to be allowing people who had never participated in this kind of sale before to participate so they could unlock new potential from their wealth. But what I heard was he was going to sell these coins to people who didn't understand the technology and didn't understand what they were getting into. So he was taking advantage of folks so he could make money. I quickly saw this, and I, of course, told him, no, I'm not interested. Also, I advised him not to do it. But he said, oh, no, I got the legal side taken care of. And you don't even have to take liability for the contract. All you need to do is show up for a few weeks in China, write some code, teach some people how to basically use it and maintain it, and then leave, and I'll pay you a lot of money. And I was like, well, okay, how flexible are my morals here? How much money? And he said, name your price. And I said, laughing, $1 million. And he said, I can do better than that. He said that the contract would pay out $1.2 million. And he was serious. So I actually said I'd think about it at that point, because this is something where if I got that money, I would be set. I would be able to pay my rent, be able to pay for groceries. I thought about it, and I called my mom, and of course, I didn't tell her the price. I just said, hey, I'm making a hard decision. And she said, at the end of a long conversation, I know you're going to do the right thing. Like, I wanted her to kind of just say, like, oh, yeah, do it. Like, you know, you could spend this money in a way that'll, like, be positive. I did tell her there was some money involved. I didn't tell her how much. Called my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. I didn't tell her either how much money it was. She said, oh, it sounds like you think it's the wrong thing, so you probably shouldn't do it. You know, do the right thing. So I told him no. And I walked away. And it ended up working out. Just, you know, I'm like, I'm fine. That's not the point of this story. I learned something really important looking back on that decision. So I made the decision. I forgot about it. I don't even know how the project went. I don't know if the guy was successful or if he got arrested or whatever, right? But I do know what happened in my life, which is that it made future decisions a lot easier. Things where there were lines that I didn't want to cross became easier to walk away from. Decisions where, you know, I could have gone this way or that way. I would always pick the way that I knew was aligned with my heart and aligned with my morals. Not that I make perfect decisions, and not that I'm a great person, and by any means I've done a lot of things I'm ashamed of. But the point of the story is that this is something that I can look back on that I did, that I'm proud of, that I made a decision that was hard when it was the right thing to do. And that's kind of what I want to get into, which is I want you to join me in reflecting on decisions that you have made in your past that you're proud of, right? They don't have to be related to money or you walking away from a big deal or anything like that. It's things that you did where you acted like your best self, and you believe that. In your heart, you acted like your best self. I want you to actually do it, if you're cool with this. Right now, close your eyes with me. Picture one of those moments. Hold it in your head. Okay? And now you can open your eyes if you want, or just listen to my voice. Either one is fine with me. I want you then to imagine, looking forward, what would your life be like if that person was the one making all of your decisions for you? The person that you just thought to yourself you're most proud of, the most you, the best version of you. Okay? And then, the next time you have a tough decision, remember that moment. It's a really powerful tool. Because for me, it's made my life distinctly better. Even though I don't have the money, I know I can rely on myself. And I have evidence to support that. And I know that my friends can trust me. And I know that I can trust me to not let them down because of just one decision that led to many later. So what that decision bought me was not $1 million, obviously. But what it bought me was the value of self-reliance. The value of knowing deep down in my heart of hearts that I'm not gonna let myself down at the last minute. I'm the person who's gonna follow through on what I say. I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm gonna act in line with my character. And that, I think, is actually worth more than $1 million because we only have one life to live. I'll have maybe more opportunities to earn $1 million. Who knows? But I don't have the opportunity, as far as I know, to live an entire new life. I only have this one. So I better be sure when I make decisions, I'm doing them in line with how I want to live my life so that I can point to these decisions and say, yes, I am that kind of person. I am the person who, when it was hard, if it was against my character, if it was against my morals, I walked away from the deal. And if it's the right thing to do it, especially when it's hard. Hopefully you got some value out of this story. Thanks for joining me in the time. Remember that moment that you're proud of. If you want to support the channel, just comment in the comments what that moment that you were proud of was. The character defining moment in your life that you can think of. Other ways you can support the channel, if you go to sophonaut.com, you can sign up for our mailing list. If you go to blog.sophonaut.com, you can read our blog. You can also contribute by donating. Anything that you want to do helps. We really appreciate the fact just that you're watching this and that you're engaged. And also, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, so the YouTube algorithm will propel this to other people if you got any value out of it whatsoever. Thanks for listening. I'm Peter DePaulo. Take it easy. Cut. Action. Wait. Cut. I'm going to think about the wording on this. Action.